Hi guys, I'm Eileen. Today, I want to talk about some of the new luxury items and designer collections. I feel like I've not done a video like this in a while, so I just want to share my opinion about some of the new pieces and briefly talk about if they are worth buying or not. We have a lot of designer items to go through today, so let's get right into it. First of all, I want to talk about the Loewe and my neighbour Totoro collection. I've never watched the anime myself, so I'm not too familiar with the characters, but when I saw this collection, I thought some of the pieces were so adorable. Apparently, this collection was really popular and everything was sold out really quickly, and I can understand why. Some of you know I'm a very neutral person, so I don't usually like a lot of colors, but I really love the color palette used in this collection, especially the handbags and the small leather goods. I mean, normally I would not be interested in a bright yellow color bag, but this Loewe mini puzzle bag really caught my attention. I think Loewe has done a really good job with this collection, so I want to know if you managed to get any pieces from this collection and if you're enjoying them, so please let me know. Next one is the Gucci Doraemon limited edition, which was launched end of last year or early this year in celebration of the Lunar Chinese New Year. Growing up, I loved watching Doraemon. It was like one of my favorite shows. If you're not too familiar with the show, basically Doraemon was a robot sent from the future to boycott Nobita. So Doraemon had all the cool little gadgets and he always managed to help Nobita solve every single problem. To be honest, I sometimes still wish I had a Doraemon myself. Anyway, back to the Gucci limited edition. I hope I don't offend anyone, but I don't think Gucci has put a lot of effort into the designs. In fact, it almost feels like they've just put the Doraemon stickers all over their pieces. I personally don't think the colors go well together, so I can't say I would recommend them. I feel like Loewe has done a much better job with their Totoro collection because the designs just seem so much more cohesive and well thought out. Another new luxury item I want to talk about is the Prada Cleo bag. I think the design is quite similar to the Prada Re-Edition 2000 nylon bags, but the Prada Cleo is made of leather instead. The design is quite simple. It's basically a plain shoulder bag and there's not a lot of inside compartment either. Personally, I'm not too sure about the design. I think the bag looks very 90s and formal. I genuinely don't think I can pull it off wearing the bag because I'm not too sure how to style it. I guess it's like everything else in the fashion world in the sense that this bag is not a good match for my personality and wardrobe, but it might work well for other people. Anyway, the Prada Cleo bags cost about £1,500, which I think is heavily overpriced because I feel like without the Prada logo, these bags wouldn't attract as much attention. Also, at this price range, I feel like we have other amazing options we could consider, including the YSL pieces. So all in all, I'm not drawn to this collection, but I know a lot of celebrities are featuring these bags at the moment. So I'm not sure if I will change my mind because marketing does do that to us sometimes, but I'll make sure to keep you updated. Moving on, I want to talk about the Tiffany and Co City Hardwear collection. This collection was launched in 2017, but I never really paid a lot of attention to it until recently when they launched the link earrings. My favorite are the ones in the size small and with yellow gold. I absolutely love them. I know they are not everyone's cup of tea, but I just think they look really modern, chic, and one of a kind. These earrings cost £2,600, so they are not the cheapest statement jewelry that you might only wear once in a while. So if you're trying to build a curated fine jewelry collection, I would suggest to invest in something a bit more classic and versatile first. Personally, I really love the design though. It's one of the few designs from Tiffany and Co that really caught my attention in the last few years. Next one is the Heartbreaker earring from a brand called Sandals. Sandals is quite a contemporary brand. It's not as mainstream as say Cartier, but I think their designs are so refreshing, unique and interesting. I'm not sure if the Heartbreaker earring is from their latest collection, but isn't it so cute? These earrings are being sold as single units and they are meant to be worn on the left side, although you could also wear them on the right, but I think they do look better on the left hand side. These earrings are available in white gold or rose gold and each earring costs £510. I really love the design. I think it looks really effortless and chic. And I can just imagine, even if you just have a simple jumper on with a pair of skinny jeans, this small earring will just pull the entire outfit together. Next one is a new collection from Louis Vuitton, which is the Monogram since 1854 collection. 1854 is the year Louis Vuitton was established, therefore the name. The main feature of this collection is the woven textile with the flowery monogram on it. I like the collection and I feel like this is one of the most beautiful monograms Louis Vuitton has ever done. Currently, there are 3 colors available, including the blue denim, burgundy and black. I like them all and I think the blue and the burgundy are really fun, especially if you want to add some colors to your wardrobe. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the vachetta leather, so I'm more drawn to the black one. And my favorite piece from this collection is the mini Noir purse. It's so tiny and adorable and I can just look at it all day. However, I've done some research on it and it looks like it would not fit my phone. And that is definitely a deal breaker for me when I buy a luxury handbag. If Louis Vuitton ever released this bag in a bigger size, I will be seriously tempted. Next, let's talk about the Dior Caro bags. Now, I've not seen these bags in person, but from my experience, Dior pieces are always very well made, so I'm sure these Caro bags come with the same top-notch quality as well. However, I must say, I don't get the wow factor from these bags. First of all, I'm not too sure about the CD logo. Now, I can't decide if I would prefer the logo to look bigger or smaller, but I just don't think it complements the bag very well. I'm also not a big fan of the slouchy design. I feel like the bag would look better if it was a bit more structured. In fact, it reminds me of the Chanel 19 bag, but with a touch of classy twist to it. I guess my favorite bag from this collection is the one made with shearling because I think this material goes better with the slouchy appearance. All in all, this is not a bag I would feel like I need to rush to the store to try it out. And I feel like if you already have a flat bag in your luxury handbag collection, you should do just fine without this one. I'm not sure if you will agree, but it feels to me like over the last 10 years, Dior has come up with a lot of designs, many of which don't seem to stay around for too long. For example, the diorama. Deep inside me, I feel like the Dior Caro bags will share the same fate. I know a lot of influencers are featuring these bags at the moment, but I really don't think they will become the next classics. Next are the beautiful Chanel tights. I first saw them on Instagram and I thought they were gorgeous, but they are also really expensive. I mean, everything from Chanel is expensive anyway, but €360 for a pair of tights is extortionate in my opinion. Now, I'm quite a clumsy person, so I don't anticipate my tights to go a long time without any snaggings or holes. So these Chanel tights are certainly something I admire on other people, but I'll never splurge on them. If you're into designer monogram tights, you can now also find other options like Gucci and Fendi for cheaper. Although as far as the looks go, I prefer the Chanel ones. In short, I don't see myself ever buying one of these and I can't say they are worth the money. The next new luxury items I want to talk about are the new Valentino flats. When the Valentino Rockstar collection first launched in 2010, they were only available in the original design, which is the ones with the leather straps and buckle fastening. I've always thought they look very sexy and edgy, and I love seeing them on other people. For me though, I don't think I can deal with the buckle fastening because it would just drive me crazy. That's why I went for these instead, because they are so much easier to put on and remove. If the buckle fastening bothers you as well, then the new Valentino flats might be the perfect alternatives because they have a very similar aesthetics like the original design without compromising on practicality. I think the design is fantastic and I really love them. Recently, luxury sandals are one of the latest trends. I've seen the Chanel sandals a lot on social media and I believe they cost over £1,000. Then Prada released their own sandals at about £500. To be honest, they look like the kind of sandals I used to wear as a child. If you grew up in Asia, you probably know what I mean. I don't know, but I just never expected these sandals to be a popular thing in the fashion world. You know how sometimes when you see a certain designer item on social media often enough, it starts growing on you? But these sandals haven't had that effect on me yet, and I suspect they never will. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure they are very comfortable, but I don't think I will ever want to spend a fortune on them. Next one is the Chanel Hobo bag. I've not seen these bags a lot on social media, so I don't think they are that popular, but please correct me if that's not the case. Anyway, when I first saw these bags on the Chanel website, I couldn't believe they cost £3,000. Now there's a small element of leather on the handle, and the bag does come with a separate leather card holder. But essentially, this is a cotton bag. I know it's Chanel, but to charge £3,000 for a bag like this is unbelievable in my opinion. Personally, I'm not too keen about the design and I can't say I'll recommend them. There you have it. Those are some of the new luxury items and my humble opinion about each of them. I personally love looking at the latest designer releases and see how the fashion community responds to them because sometimes I do get some surprises. For example, I never really expected the Louis Vuitton multi-accessory to be such a big hit, but obviously it's now a new favorite for a lot of people. On that note, I just want to say it's perfectly okay to adore the latest trends, but it's best not to follow them blindly. Just because all your favorite bloggers are featuring the same bags, it doesn't mean you have to have it as well. Likewise, the bag that's never sold out might make the perfect handbag for you. So definitely don't forget to listen to yourself when buying anything, whether if it's designer or not. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching and don't forget to share, like and subscribe. I will see you in my next one. Have a nice day.